Hey, Shalom Malkins, Rakam Akapashim, GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Basharakach, Wadash. Want to give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, pushing his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video. And here, Trump was here not too long ago, a couple of days ago, as by the posting of this video, or this YouTube, video, right? From the Guardian News. And then, it's just a classic image, really. This is exactly the position that America's got his allies in, bent over, picking up fucking shit off the ground, yeah, while Trump, just there raining over the top of them, right? The truth is, man, America is shafting its allies, man. Just shafting their allies, making them accept, shitty deals, right? These are meant to be friends and allies, but they're being made to submit or to take, these rubbish deals so that America can do their thing or whatever, right? And eventually this is going to turn to bite America and Trump and all of this, right? Because who wants to get shafted, right? These men are meant to be friends, EU, NATO, they're meant to be friends, right? But Trump's threatening them with tariffs and you better do a deal. I mean, we see how he treating Iran right now. They should have done a deal. Should have done a deal. He told him to do the deal, right? And if you don't do a deal with Trump, you don't bow down to his demands, America's demands, then you're gonna get fully shafted, like rawly, right? And it just shows you the power dynamic of America and its allies. Okay, it's a sad state. Like I said, these meant to be, buddies, man. But it's a sad state. It's a sad state, and this visual, man, is just, it says it all, really. America got their allies bent over right now. Accepting shitty deals and that, trying to convince people that it's a good deal. And it's just, the whole thing just fake as hell, man. But yeah, this is how America treats its allies, man. And like I said, this is all going to turn and bite them in the ass, all right, at some point. Let me grab this from Daniel chapter 7, verse 20 first. And then of the 10 horns that were in his head, of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, right? These 3 horns that are being mentioned here are speaking about the British, the Spanish, and the French, who America, these Americans have to wrestle with, fight with, war with, right? To, be in, what do they call that? Fight for their independence, right? From these nations, right? And America, they won their thing, right? But this is the history that transpired, right? So America became independent of these European nations, right? Britain, France, and Spain, right? So the 3 fell. That's those 3, right? So even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows, right? This is America. This is America, right? This is America, right? And this is the position that they're in. This is why they're more proud, they're more stout, and this is why Trump he just he just what's the word I'm looking for? He abuses that to the nth degree, because they know everybody has to do the deals with America. Have to. Otherwise, your country ain't shit, right? Because Europe ain't shit. Europe is made weak, right? America is the head of NATO. America is the spearhead. America is the strength of NATO. In all honesty, right? They get to call a lot of shots. Europe don't call a lot of things, man. They follow America because they are the weaker vassal state, so to speak, right? They're the weaker nation underneath America, and everybody knows this. America is the strength. America is the wealth. All right, and Trump knows it more than anybody, right? And this is why he will just abuse his position, right? And make these threats. But they're meant to be friends. They're meant to be cordial, right? They're meant to be helping each other. right? But obviously, since Trump's been in office and that, that relationship has kind of changed. It's been changing, even through these various presidents, but none so more than Trump, right? Trump don't rate Europe. You don't rate them. You don't rate Britain, all right? Got man bent over picking up papers for him, right? Right, so this is, like I said, this is the dynamic that America has with the UK and these other European nations, man. Because even though they might not necessarily agree with America with regards to a lot of things, maybe, right? They still have to toe the line. They still have to toe the line, man, and they hate it because they're being dictated to basically what they must do, right? And all we got to do is look back into during the pandemic, with places like Germany, right? They might had deals with Russia to supply their gas to them. America was like, no, you can't be doing deals with Russia, because like we're at cold war with them right now. You can't do that. We're putting tariffs on them. You can't do that. And Germany's like, well, if we don't do that, like, we're fucked. Like, because we ain't got no other way of producing energy. Because these men have been made to shut down their coal mines and all that kind of stuff because the world's going green, right? And America don't care. No, you can't do that. So man blew up the Nord pipe stream and all kinds of shit. Like, you know what I mean? They're going on mad ones. And Germany was hurting. The whole Europe was hurting, man. The energy prices were going through the fucking roof. Right? But America don't care. You don't care. They don't care about how its friendly states are faring. You don't care. This is all about the cause. You down for the cause? Then you must suffer. But like I said, they just get dragged into shit, and they have to follow because America is the whore on the beast, right? And they in the EU is the beast, right? And America is the whore that sits on the beast, and she the one with the reins, she the one with the collar, with the lead, right? Directing the beast, right? But the beast is getting tired. They're getting tired of it, man. They're tired of getting dragged around, okay, being mistreated, right? They're tired of it, right? But they're in public. They're having just weakness. It's just like they're getting mugged off in public and everywhere, just getting mugged off by Trump and America, and they're just tired of the shit, man. Right? And I said he's more stout than his fellow. He's proud because he knows the power he has over these people. You know the position that he's in compared to these men. They're in a position of weakness, right? So this is Sirach chapter 10 verse 7. It said, pride is hateful before God and man, right? America come up here with the fucking pompous look, right? Knowing that they're gonna tell you a bunch of shit, man, and you're gonna have to fucking eat it, right? They're gonna give you some shitty deal, but you're gonna have to sign that paper because if you don't, it's gonna be 10 times worse. What do you do? He's stand there, smile for the cameras, shake hands. Yeah, thanks, Donald. Yeah, great deal. Yeah, but you're getting shafted. You're getting shafted, man. It's crazy, right? But pride is hateful before God and man, right? And by both doth one commit iniquity. All right. Pride is burning them, man. Is Psalms 36 verse 2, right? So, for he flattereth himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful, right? Hate and resentment is building between America, these Edomite nations. It's building up with the resent, right? The hate is building up, and this is going to play a pivotal role in the time to come during the World War III. All right. But I'm just reporting and showing you the dynamics and why things are going to turn out the way they're going to turn out. And I just thought I'd throw in some couple of wisdom scriptures in there because it's true, right? It's just true, right? Pride is hateful, it's disgusted, right? It angers you, vexes you, the spirit. And when they're so proud, you want to see something happen to them, man, but you can't do shit because you have to, you're weak, right? But Sirach 8 and 15 says this. It says, travel not by the way with a bold fellow, right? They made themselves allies with America, right? Because they were the new world, they were the up and coming, right? They after the World War II, all these deals were being made, these treaties and all these different types of things, right? And America was unscathed. Britain and Europe was kind of, had to repair, was kind of fucked up. And so America became the centerpiece of the world, right? They became the massive powerhouse. So yeah, these relationships had to be formed for the survival of Europe. In a way, Europe was kind of like a charity case at that point in time. Or maybe you can even argue even now, right? Because America had to help rebuild Europe because they're the ones that had, the industries and the money and all that kind of stuff. Britain needed to repair. So they aligned themselves with them, trade and they gave power over to America in it. Britain was the power one time, and the power diminished. Now it's America's turn. They rule in the earth, right? So it says, travel not by the way with a bold fellow, right? American Trump is definitely that, right? Lest he become grievous unto thee, right? And this is what is happening. Following America and playing, dancing to their tune is becoming grievous, right? But there's nothing that they can do about it because America is that guy, right? They're just that strong, and they're needed. Okay, especially when all these avenues are getting cut off because you can't do trade with Russia because because of the beef that's going on, and you men are meant to be together in it. Your avenues are getting cut off where you should be doing partnerships with them because they're more local. Therefore, it'd be cheaper, right? But no, you have to go get things from America or do deals with America and accept this trade deal, and like I said, but you're getting shafted, right? So travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee, for he will do according to his own will. He ain't gonna care about your will, what you want to do. America don't give a fuck. You're going to do what I say, or I'm going to turn on you. All right? I'm going to beat you. Right? I'm the master here. I'm the one with the leash. Right? So for he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly. Now, like I said, America and these small hats, right? The least of the flock, they're going to draw everybody into this World War III. And this is going to be the last war anyone's going to fight. Right? But they're gonna, they're allies, so they're gonna have to fight one another. They're gonna be drawn into that fight, right? And they're gonna perish together, right? Because it's like I said, it's all folly, right? And so they are being led down the path of destruction by America, by Israel. But there's gonna be a twist. There is gonna be a bit of a twist, okay, which we're gonna get into, right? But yeah, that's the relation, that's the dynamic of things, right? Pardon me. Obadiah 1 verse 7. I said, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Right? Those that were in league with thee, your allies. Right? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So here's the twist. These men that are supposed to be, subordinates or allies, however you see them, right? They're going to be treacherous, right? They're going to stab you in the back, essentially. Well, quite literally, I guess, with missiles, right? But, yeah, they're going to break away from you. They're going to turn on you, right? Because they're going to remember all of this, all these interactions that they've been having with America, with Trump, and how they've been belittled and made to look stupid in public, and all of this stuff, and making their own countries worse and whatever. They're gonna remember all of this, and they're gonna be like, to hell with America, man. Right? We ain't gonna fight for them no more, right? We're gonna jump sides with Russia. Right? They're talking more sense, or whatever the case may be, whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, it's gonna be the Spirit of the Lord that's gonna have these men do what they're gonna do, whatever the reasons behind it, if there is even any reason behind it, whether the Lord is gonna make them do some crazy shit. We have to see how that kind of pans out. But they got a whole bunch of fuel and ammo as to why they should just like be to hell with America, man, because they've been taking the piss out of them. They've been made to look weak. And how can you respect your own leaders or whatever, man? Man's looking weak, looking wet, looking moist right now in front of Trump and whatever. You can't take these men seriously. This is not what you say is a strong leader. Can't imagine Putin doing something like this. Picking up. I can't imagine it, bro. I really can't imagine it. Trump and Putin is sitting in a room. Trump drops some papers, and Putin's gonna bend down in front of him and pick up papers. I can't even see that happening. Putin would be like, hey, he'll direct somebody else to go pick up the papers, man. I can't imagine it, bro. This just looks weak, but it just shows you the power dynamic. Yeah. UK got to accept deals that they don't really want to accept because they're shitty, right? They're being made to accept these deals, and you're gonna like it. So, that's how it is. Because Trump in the top seat in that respect, he the president of America, right? So so you're gonna do what you're told. Right, but like I said, the sentiment and the resentment, that's all building, man, and the case is being built up that these men are gonna bite the hand that feed them. Talking about UK and Europe, and that they're gonna bite the hand that feeds them. That's allowed them. America's allowed them to be at where they are today, so to speak. Because like I said, after World War II, Europe was kind of effed, and America helped fund and rebuild Europe. All right, so they are subservient. They are in debt to them, I guess. And so America gets to call the shots. If you don't like it, well, that's tough. But it doesn't mean man don't get vexed about it, right? Because that pride like I said, it stings. Man get upset when you see man being so proud and pompous. You want to smash man's face in, But for now they have to toe the line, But back here, Obadiah 1 verse 7 says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So they're gonna be act like we're on cool terms or whatever. But like I said, at the pivotal moment, they're gonna turn their backs on you, man. So the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread, like I said, the hand that feeds them, right? They've been able to do all these deals and whatever. And do a bit better than what they would have been doing, perhaps, right? They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him, right? Because the understanding is gone. These men are vexed, right? The understanding in them is gone. You like, no, I ain't trying to hear all that, man. You being pricks. You're being pricks, right? I ain't listen to a damn thing you say, man. We're not on that no more, right? Because they're gonna see opportunity, They're going to see opportunity, man, and they're going to take it. America's going to be, greatly hated. Okay? And they're not going to stand by America in the end. All right? So I'm going to close out with this. This is Revelation 17. And I'm going to read from... Read from verse 15 here, right? So, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, okay, which the whore is America, right, are peoples, multitudes, nations, and tongues, right? So the waters that it sits on is the nations that it rules over. Okay, and in Europe, UK is part of that, right? Like he tells the beast where to go, what are you gonna do, what are you gonna eat. It controls the beast, right? Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, right? I said Macron and Starmer and these characters, whoever's in power, at the time, right? it's the same. It's going to be the same, right? Their relationship with America is not been great. It's been getting worse. It's not been getting better, right? And they're really sick and tired of how America's going about doing things, especially under Trump, Nero Trump, right? So it says, "These shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, right? And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire, right? So, like I said, these nations are nuclear capable, right? We got UK, we got Trident, we got these nuclear capabilities. France has got UKK, has got nuclear capabilities. I'm not sure. Germany, I don't think Germany's got its own. To be fair, I don't think they've got their own, but I do believe they've got American missiles on site. I'm not sure Germany has their own nuclear missiles and stuff, but I do believe they have American ones on in the country. But yeah, these nations, they have nuclear capabilities, man. Right, and right now they've got the excuse to build up their defenses because they're using Russia as a threat right now. The big bag boogeyman, Russia's going to take over the whole world, and so they got the excuse to bolster up their defenses, and so these nations that might not have nuclear missiles might have them real soon. Whether they purchase them or build them themselves, whatever the case may be. But and also you're probably going to find that more of these nations have more nukes than what's been officially reported, because some don't have to declare whether they're nuclear capable, like Israel. Right, but yeah, you'll find that. We'll find that. Okay, when the time comes. But yeah, they're gonna shoot their missiles on America and play the part in helping to destroy her. Right, to burn her with fire, to make it a lake of fire. All right, alongside the Russians and the Chinese, whoever's got that capability of landing missiles on America, they're gonna be in league with them. Right, not to like I said, there's no winning side. It's not that they're gonna join Russia and they're gonna somehow win, because everyone's gonna lose, because when that's going on, we're gonna have Yahweh Shai here and the angels blazing America, man. But don't worry, you other nations are on the list of places to be taken out. All right, but this is like I said, this is what's going on. This is how it's all playing out, man. Man, looking hella wet right now. But yeah. But anyway, I'm going to end it there. Lord, when this has been edifying, and I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until next time, I say shalom.